They talk when you win. They talk when you lose. They talk when you rise. And they talk when you fall. No matter what you do, they'll always have something to say. But the Stoics said, let them talk, because the moment you stop trying to silence the noise, you start to hear peace. The truth is, most people will never see who you really are. Only fragments, shadows, and reflections filtered through their own insecurities. They don't see you. They see the story they need to tell about you. Yet most of us spend our lives chasing those stories, trying to fix illusions, trying to be liked, trying not to be misunderstood. We fear disapproval because we think their opinion defines our worth. But here's the truth Stoicism revealed. No opinion can touch your soul unless you let it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them." And that is the essence of Stoic freedom. The problem is never what they say. It's that we believe it matters. That belief is the cage, and Stoicism is the key. Watch till the end and learn how to break free from the prison of opinions and reclaim your inner peace. Number 1, the prison we build with opinions. There's a prison with invisible bars. You can't see it, you can't touch it, but you can feel it. Every time you hesitate to speak your truth, every time you smile when you don't feel like it, every time you change yourself to fit someone's expectation. That prison is built from opinions. Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." We crave approval, we crave validation, and so we become poor in spirit. We lose our freedom because we want to be liked. Look around today. Social media has turned the world into a theater of opinions. Everyone's performing, pretending, competing for attention. But what does it gain you to win their approval if, in the process, you lose your peace? The Stoics saw this long ago. They lived in a time where honor and reputation meant everything, yet they warned that public praise is the most dangerous addiction of all. Because once you taste it, you become dependent on it. You start living not for truth, but for applause. And that is how the soul dies, slowly, quietly, behind the mask of popularity. 2. The Stoic law of control. Epictetus taught what he called the dichotomy of control. He said life can be divided into 2 categories, things within your control and things outside of it. Within your control are your thoughts, your actions, and your effort. Outside your control are the opinions of others. If something lies outside your control, it's not your concern. It should not disturb your peace. Yet, what do? We spend hours replaying what someone said about us. We try to explain ourselves, to prove, to justify, to be understood. We want everyone to know our intentions. But Stoicism says, why waste energy convincing people who have already decided not to see you clearly? Epictetus said, if someone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these. That is freedom, a quiet confidence that no longer bends to the noise of the world. 3. The emperor who ignored the crowd. Marcus Aurelius was emperor of Rome, ruler of millions, commander of armies. And yet, he wrote his greatest work not for the world but for himself, a private journal we now call Meditations. In it, he reminded himself daily, do not waste the remainder of your life worrying about what others think of you. It is not their judgments that make you unhappy, but your dependence on their approval. Think about that. The most powerful man in the world still struggled with opinions, but he conquered them not through arrogance, but through reason. He realized that people will always see the world through their own filter, and that filter says more about them than it does about you. If you are kind, they'll call you weak. If you are silent, they'll call you cold. If you are confident, they'll call you arrogant. But their words reveal their mind, not your truth. Marcus learned to act with virtue, not vanity. He didn't perform goodness, he lived it. He didn't speak wisdom, he embodied it. That's Stoicism, to do what is right, even when no one praises you. To stand firm in silence while others misunderstand you. To keep walking your path, calm and unbothered, while the crowd shouts their opinions into the wind. 4. Why you must stop explaining yourself. One of the greatest freedoms you can ever experience is the freedom from explaining yourself. You owe no one a justification for your peace, your growth, or your choices. Seneca said, "Let the noise outside cease to disturb you. Your peace depends on no man." Every time you explain yourself to be understood, you give away a little bit of your power. You start to depend on their understanding to feel okay about your life. But the Stoics remind us, understanding is not owed to you, and your peace is not owed to them. People will misunderstand you because they can't see your process. They only see your results. Sometimes, you must accept being misunderstood in order to stay authentic. When you stop explaining, you stop living in reaction. You begin to live in alignment. 5. The battle of the inner voice. The real battle is not against other people's opinions. It's against the voice inside your own mind that believes them. That inner critic, born from years of seeking validation, is what the Stoics called pathos, emotional disturbance. They taught that emotions themselves are not the enemy. It's our attachment to them that destroys us. When someone disrespects you, the insult isn't what hurts. It's your interpretation of it. When someone ignores you, the silence isn't what burns. It's your belief that you deserve constant attention. So the Stoic warrior trains not by fighting people, but by mastering perception. They practice self-command. They ask themselves before reacting, does this judgment come from reason or from ego? And if the answer is ego, they let it go. Because no insult can pierce a mind that no longer seeks validation. 6. The practice of indifference. The Stoics called it apatheia, not apathy, but emotional equilibrium. It means you feel deeply, but respond wisely. You are aware of criticism, but unaffected by it. You can hear the noise, but you don't let it enter your heart. Epictetus said, "When someone provokes you, remember that it is your opinion which provokes you. Try, therefore, not to be carried away by appearances." That's the level of control we all crave, to stand still in chaos, to be calm under attack, to smile when misunderstood, because you know who you are. A man who knows himself cannot be destroyed by the opinions of those who don't. 7. Rising above the noise. Every great thinker, every great creator, every great soul was judged by the crowd. Socrates was condemned for questioning the norm. Marcus was criticized for showing mercy. Seneca was accused of hypocrisy. Even Christ was mocked as a fool. So why should you expect to be free from judgment? The higher you rise in truth, the more opinions will follow. But when you live with integrity, those opinions lose power. Because in the end, what people think fades, but what you become remains. 8. The peace that comes from letting go. There is peace that cannot be bought, only earned. It comes the moment you stop explaining, stop reacting, stop proving. It comes when you finally say, I don't need them to understand me. I need to understand myself. That's when you become dangerous, because your emotions are no longer controlled by external forces. You no longer chase attention. You no longer need to win debates. You live in quiet strength. The Stoics didn't seek to be admired. They sought to be unshaken. And when you reach that point, no gossip can touch you, no insult can move you, and no praise can corrupt you. That is freedom. That is mastery. That is Stoicism. And here comes the most important one. Live your life as if the entire world watches, but only your conscience judges. You don't need to control what they say. You only need to control what you do. Walk with quiet confidence. Speak less. React slower. Forgive quicker. And remember, their opinions are wind, but your peace is a mountain. If this message spoke to your spirit, comment below. I rise above opinions. And remember, the Stoics didn't live to please the crowd. They lived to please their soul. Until next time, stay silent, stay grounded, and stay unshakable. Like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom.